The views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting groups. If you'd like to produce a show, call us at 260-421-1250.
Let me be your lighthouse so I can show you the way. Let me be your shining light, I'll keep you from drifting away. I'm the one that makes you try when...
Hello, this is Patty Hunter of Patty's Page. Today I have a special guest, Stasia Roth. Hello, dear.
Hello.
Now you are with A Mother's Hope.
Yes, ma'am.
What is that, A Mother's Hope?
A Mother's Hope is a home for pregnant women who are homeless.
So how do they get to your place?
Typically, they get to us through a referral from another organization or another shelter.
And how do you go and pick them up, or?
Usually, they find a way to get to us. So we usually take the application over the phone, see if they qualify for our program, and if they do qualify, then we go from there. Sometimes we have met some women in the community if they don't have a way to get to us, but typically they find a way to find us.
They're basically all of them homeless?
So they have to be homeless or at risk of homelessness.
Do you have a house and for the woman now? Last time we had an interview was about 3 years ago, I do believe. And you said you were going to get a house for the women who are pregnant. So do you have one now?
Yes. So since we last spoke, we do have a house that we are using. It's a large home on the north side of Fort Wayne.
Right.
Still in Fort Wayne, but on the north side. And that house is a large 4-bedroom home. It's about 3,300 square feet. It's on 5 acres, so it has a lot of room for us to
5
spread out.
acres.
Yeah, a lot of it is wooded, and so we have a lot of room to spread out and let the women can go outside and walk and things like that. And we have been open since October.
You have security in case.
We do have some security, yes.
So would you be building more houses on that 5 acre, or?
Probably not. The majority of the property is wooded, so there
wooded.
we would have to
You don't want it to chop
remove
down.
some things.
Yeah.
So we like the deer that live in the
dear.
woods, so we don't want
She
to
likes the deer.
displace them.
I was going to ask how many women with babies?
So we can house up to 8
8.
moms and 8 babies at any one time. Or if there were twins or something, obviously we'd house them too.
So how can I donate to A Mother's Hope?
The easiest way to donate or to even learn more about the organization is to go to our website, and that's amothershopefw.org.
FW mean Fort Wayne,
Yes.
short form. Oh, wow. So say it again.
amothershopefw.org.
That's right. Are you a non-profit organization?
Yes, we have been a 501c3 since January of 2015. So for 4 years
that
now.
long.
It's been that long.
So how many, like you said, how many mothers again?
8.
8 people. And if they have children of their own, other than the one that they're going to give birth to, what happens to those kids?
Yeah, so we, unfortunately, we don't have room at A Mother's Hope to have enough room for other children. So in the event that that does happen, if we have a woman who has other kids in her custody, we do have a relationship with Safe Families. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
No.
Safe Families is an organization that it functions similar to foster care, but without the court system. So they have wonderful families that come forward to take children temporarily in case of crisis. So mothers and fathers can use that. And we have a relationship with them, so they would allow, like, let's say mom had 2 other kiddos. Those 2 other kiddos could go live with another family while mom is working a Mother's Hope program. Also, we often find that, like, several of the women that we have now, They do have other children, but they don't have custody of those other children.
So the father has custody.
We have one where the father has custody, another one where grandma does. So they are hoping that after they progress through our program and they're able to get into some sort of housing of their own, that they're able to then reunite with their other children as well.
Well, were there any abusive things happen to the woman who have to get away or have the baby, or they're just homeless?
So if a woman is if she's currently fleeing domestic violence, we advise her to go to the Y first, so the YWCA's domestic violence shelter first, so that she can get those needs met. She can make sure she's safe. We don't have as much security as the Y, and because we're focused more on pregnancy and postpartum, we're not as focused on domestic violence. Although some of the women we serve have experienced that, they're not currently fleeing it. So we have had women who have gone to the Y first and then been referred back to a mother's home. So.
How long can a mom, after she gives birth, stay?
So after a baby's born, the mom can stay for up to a year
Oh,
after
a year.
the birth of the baby. But typically, they are not going to want to stay that long. If they're doing something like if they're in school, like they know they're going to take that long to get done, or if they're in some sort of job skills program that is a lengthier one, then they might stay for a longer period of time. But typically, they're going to come obviously they come when they're pregnant, and then they're going to do whatever they need to do, and then typically they'll want to move on. We've had 2 moms and with babies that have been in our program and then since moved on to other things.
Oh, do you have midwives? Or
We
doctors?
don't. They it's up to each individual resident what she wants for herself and her baby. All the women that we've served thus far have all chosen to go with an OB. We do have a certified nurse midwife on our board, though.
That's good.
Yeah, she comes in and does kind of a class with them called Ask the Midwife, and they can ask her anything they want, and that's always really interesting to see the things they want to know.
Do you have ultrasound equipment there?
We do not, but they all can access that at their doctors. We do have a baby scale so that once baby's born, they can weigh their babies and see if they're gaining weight, because that's often a good indicator whether baby is doing well or not, is if he or she is gaining weight. So we actually had that scale was purchased by a private donor that had offered to get that to us.
So what if you have a complicated baby birth?
Sure. So we've had actually all of our residents that we've had thus far have all had high-risk pregnancies, either because of the lack of prenatal care before they came to us, or because of past drug or alcohol use, or different things that they've encountered through their pregnancy. These little babies have typically been exposed to either a lot of stress or other issues. So being homeless obviously is very stressful. So all the babies that are coming to us have typically been experiencing a high level of stress, which causes complications. So we have had 2 babies that have been born and then since gone into the NICU. And the wonderful thing about our hospitals here is they typically have live-in rooms where the moms can stay in there with baby up to a certain amount of time. And so they've been, the last one that happened to, she stayed at the hospital with him for the 5 days he was in NICU, and then they came back together. So
You have programs for the moms while they're staying there? I mean, what kind?
So we look at A Mother's Hope as an overall program. So we have 6 areas that we focus on. And so we focus on shelter. So obviously we're providing shelter at A Mother's Hope, and then where are they going to go after A Mother's Hope? So for some women that will be another program. So we're a stepping stone to get into some other program that will help them eventually get to permanent housing. For some women, they'll be ready for their own apartment, or they'll be ready for subsidized housing. It just kind of depends on each individual. So shelter, health of mom and baby, of course, making sure that their health needs are being met, whether that's their prenatal care appointments are being attended, making sure they get their health insurance, nutrition. We have nutrition classes at A Mother's Hope. Plus,
That's good.
yeah, plus providing food for them as well. So then we also have education and employment. So for some women, education will be the route they want to choose, whether it be Ivy Tech. We have a relationship with them where Ivy Tech comes to A Mother's Hope talks to the women about what are you interested in, what would you like to do, and then coming up with a plan of what that might look like for them and how they could turn that into actually a good income for themselves and their child. Employment, they are expected to have a job. Each resident has to work 25 hours a week either at employment or on their education. So there's a requirement that they have to meet each week. And then the other two program areas are support and life skills. So for support, we have a counselor that comes right to a Mother's Hope and provides individual counseling. And then she also provides one group counseling session a week where they work on safety and keeping themselves safe. And then we also have obviously the support of all the staff, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week staff. And we want to help them build their support network outside of a Mother's Hope, not just in a Mother's Hope. And then lastly, the life skills. So obviously life skills, very, very important. We want them to know how to provide for themselves, how to take care of themselves and baby after they leave.
That's right. 'Cause for some mothers, they're just new moms and they
Right.
don't know what to do.
Right.
There's no.
It's hard to believe they give you this child and tell you to go home, and what do you do with it?
What do I do?
Yeah.
How do I feed?
Exactly.
How do I change?
Exactly. So
Yes.
we have an Earn While You Learn program
That's good.
that they utilize, also used by a Hope Center. So you might be familiar with it
Yeah,
since
I
you
know
know a
what
Hope
Hope
Center.
Center, yeah.
Yeah. So our Earn While You Learn program is similar to theirs, but the women have access to it all the time. So it's not like they have to go somewhere and have an appointment. They actually have access to the videos all the time that they can learn from.
Do you have bilingual people there in case someone is Spanish or Burmese or whatever?
We, at this time, we do not. However, we do have a limited English proficiency policy. So if we have somebody who is needing somebody who can communicate with us
Yeah.
and translate, we do have some things in place to make sure we can meet that need.
So you're going to grow. You're going to grow with a Mother's Hope. Going to get other places around
Maybe.
Fort Wayne. I
Maybe.
hope so.
We'll see.
Because we need you, girl.
Yeah.
So, sponsors. So how do you raise monies?
Sure. So we have several different ways that we get funding. We obviously have, private and corporate donors. That's individual and corporate donors is a wonderful way to build our donor base, whether it be a donation of $20 or $10,000. Every dollar that we get makes a huge difference in what we do. And we're very good stewards of the money that's donated to us because that's important. We also have events. Right now we have our gala coming up. And so we work very hard to make sure that that one event is one of our largest fundraisers of the year. It is our largest fundraiser of the year. We also are supported by many different foundations.
Yes.
So we receive grants. And we also, some of those foundations are St. Joseph Community Health Foundation, the Mary Cross Tipman Foundation, Charlie Tipman Foundation.
Oh yes, the Tipmans are pretty good.
Yes,
at that.
they are wonderful. And then we also have some smaller grants too, like from the St. Mary's Heritage Fund. We've been supported by the Catholic Community Foundation, the Community Foundation of Greater Fort Wayne.
You bet.
Yeah,
Arch,
lots of support.
what do you call it? Archdiocese.
The Diocese of Fort Wayne South Bend has supported us.
South Bend. Oh,
Yeah, and then we also have some state money that's funneled through an organization called Real Alternatives that we will start receiving in October, and we will be the first maternity home in Indiana to receive that money.
Well, I'm proud of you, girl.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome. So, do you encourage moms to put their children, their babies up for adoption?
Sure. So when a woman first comes to us, one of the first things we ask her as we're discussing her stay at a Mother's Hope is we ask her if she's plans to parent or place her baby. So just making that just a very common conversation that we have right from the beginning, letting them know that this is a beautiful, wonderful option to place baby for adoption. And then we also have a relationship with Adoption Support Center out of Indianapolis. And they have kind of people that are regional that will come, and they've already came at one time and spoken to our residents just kind of in a group way. Yeah, and what's really neat about them is that they all their staff are birth moms. So they've all been there. So it's not just that they're like, hey, this is a great thing to do.
The emotions and all that
Exactly.
And if they decide when the baby's born,
Mm-hmm.
I want the baby,
Mm-hmm.
you can't force her to adopt.
Mm-mm.
That's
No, that would be up to her, yeah.
That's good. And the age limits?
We
for the
actually don't
moms?
have any age limits. So the youngest mom we've had has been 19, and the
Mhm.
oldest mom we've had just had a birthday, so now she's 36. So we've had a wide range of ages, but the majority of them are about 23, 24. That's about the average.
Yeah. What are the requirements women have to enter the program? Like you said before, I just
Right.
want to remind them again.
Sure. So they have to be pregnant,
Oh, yeah.
important. They have to be homeless or at risk of homelessness. So we define homeless as not having adequate, safe, consistent shelter. So if they're couch surfing, if they're, one night they're here, one night they're there, if they're in a hotel, if they're in a car, if they're in another shelter, that would constitute as homeless. So pregnant and homeless, they also have to be willing to follow the rules and structure of the home. They have to be willing to follow the program. So we let them know all up front what is going to be expected of them. They have to be committed to living drug, alcohol, and tobacco free. So if they do smoke, we ask that they try to quit and move towards quitting. And then their income has to fall at or below 150% of the federal poverty line.
Yeah, it is below, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So that they don't have Social Security numbers if they're homeless.
Yeah,
So
a lot
they
of those do. Mm-hmm.
I guess they did hold jobs in that, and for any reason why they got homeless.
Mm-hmm.
At least they got, at least with staying with you
Mm-hmm.
for that 1 or 2 years, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They got a roof over their heads,
Mm-hmm.
and they can get paid and have Social Security and all of that. So they would have an address.
Mm-hmm.
that's
So there are
good.
some of them that qualify for disability. We have one woman that we're working with right now because she does qualify because of some health issues that she has. And so we're working with her to try to get SSI in place so that by the time baby's born, she can already have some of that income coming in to help support
Is that
herself.
meaning physical or mental disability or?
Hers is more physical in that she has a seizure disorder, so it makes it very difficult for her to maintain
I hear you.
maintain employment.
So, who do we get in contact when we want to get involved with what you guys are doing? Like what type of volunteers do you need from the
Sure.
community?
So we have different levels of volunteers. So we have some volunteers that aren't even really in contact with the residents, that would just do more like gathering of donations and things. So for example, we needed newborn size diapers. So that's something that we can have if we have people that are, when people are willing to help us gather donations, we can contact those people and say, hey, we need newborn diapers or whatever the case may be.
So, you mean you get it from department stores,
Wherever. Typically, if we ask for something like that, if each person gives one pack, that makes a lot. So it's a
and you
simple
need
thing.
them. These babies, they go through it like water,
Yes, they do.
Oh, boy.
Yes, they do. One mom was sitting outside my office. She was watching one of the Earn While You Learn videos yesterday. And just sitting there watching the 1.5 hour video, the baby went through 3 diapers. And
It sounds like diarrhea.
it was,
Oh,
but she
sorry.
said, she's like, we've only watched one video and you've gone through 3 diapers.
Well,
So.
it depends on what he was fed.
Breast milk, but
Do you think
I don't know what mom ate.
Maybe something upset the child or something?
I don't know. I think sometimes that's just the way bodies
But
go
I
through
never had a
different
baby,
things.
so I don't know what's
Yeah,
why.
sometimes that happens.
Do you have preemies?
We have had some, yeah, that they were born before, before that
Their time.
38, 39 weeks,
Wow.
yeah.
Do you have talks about the conception, the beginning of life, and how the babies look as they grow inside the mom?
So we talk a lot about pregnancy, what baby's going through. Some of those Earn While You Learn videos are really good to show what actually baby looks like. And the other thing is nowadays, a lot of the moms use apps on their phone that show and send them notifications about, hey, this is what baby looks like right now, and this is the baby's the size. They all laugh, like they'll say, now baby's the size of a walnut. Now baby's the size of an avocado. Now that's one thing they do a lot.
Show me what I gave you, the one with the baby wrap.
Sure. This little guy. That's a 12-weeker.
This is a 12-week-old baby. That's how big the child is. Human baby. I'll just gently. See? That is what she or he looks like at that age. Aren't they beautiful? And they actually have it lifelike.
They do.
It weighs exactly how much it should a baby that size.
It's really something else. I'm glad that they made those.
Yeah.
It's a helpful thing to be able to show. And the majority of the moms that come to us, you know, they really recognize exactly what's been entrusted to them. And they want to do right by that baby, and they want to give that baby a life that they may not have had. And so a lot of them say they want that baby to know how loved he or she is, and to be
the
taken care of.
sacrifice that they love them so much since they cannot take care of them themselves if they can. Give them up for adoption. And that's a love right there. She has a
Absolutely.
bond with that child. She had to give him away or her away.
Yeah.
That's love.
Yeah. Yeah, making that sacrifice and placing your baby with a family that's able to care for them. And for a lot of women now, the option of adoption is so very, very beautiful because it's not a secret anymore. They can be part of that child's life a lot of times now. It's not, they're completely
they're
out.
not completely divided?
Right, yeah. That's with open adoption now being more and more common, they can have that interaction with their child and just be
Like it's like a third
almost
month?
like a second mom. Yeah.
Third month.
Yeah.
Anyways, I didn't know that. When did that come into be?
I don't know. I don't know when the shift happened, but a lot of the people that I know that have been birth moms, that's their arrangement now. So it's beautiful.
So they watch the wee one grow. Does she ever want to have the wee one back for?
I think that just the way legally things work, once they
Got established.
once they sign over their rights, then it's a done deal.
And to contact you, you have a website, of course. Try it
We
again.
do. We
What
do.
is it?
It's amothershopefw.org.
You have an email?
We do. Actually, to get a hold of us, the easiest way, you can just email hello@amothershopefw.org. Easy to remember.
Oh, hello.
Yep. Hello.
And you have a phone number. We could be able to put that on the screen for the, for Mother's Hope. Yeah.
The main number now is 260-444-4975.
That's a good phone number to know, especially when people really need you. How many have gone through your home?
Sure. So since opening, we've had 11 women and 4 babies. We are getting ready to probably have at least 2 more babies in the next couple of weeks. So really soon here, we're going to have 4 babies in the house instead of 2.
Mercy. Well, thank you, Stasia.
You are so very welcome, Patty. Thank you for having me on again.
I'm glad you came over and be on my show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for doing your show. It's great. You get the word out about all that's going on.
I love babies. I've always had.
Yeah.
So, this is Patty Hunter, or Patty's Page. We had Stasia Roth here from A Mother's Hope. We'll see you next week. God bless. And take care of your kids.
Godspeed, my love, until we meet again. You're always in my heart and every dream. Don't let this time apart give in to all our fears. God will keep us close from up above. So until we meet again, Godspeed, my love. God is with us always.